My wife and I was talking one night, and she said, "Why don't you go back in the military where you're happy?" So I went back in the Army. I told a total of 9.5 years in the Army. Things didn't go like I planned on going. And so I left the Army and went to the Air Force, and I finished off my 10.5 years in the Air Force. But I'm proud of my service.
I have a unique deployment. I deployed with the 1st Infantry Division Band to Kosovo before it became a NATO peacekeeping mission. I was there for a little while as a musician, playing morale concerts and changes of responsibility and command.
It's a major part of me. It's a big part of what drives me internally. You know, the Navy core values, honor, courage, and commitment. That's how I live my life every day. You know, I live to support junior sailors. It's what I love to do. So
I knew it had to be their decision, not mine. But I'm glad they did.
I think bringing a piece of home to the soldiers who are so far away from their families, there's a moment there, and even the strongest of soldiers will break down emotionally when just playing regular music, stuff that they can remember from home, and if for a moment they're not where they are. They're back with their families and their friends, and that was really rewarding to know that I was as a part of that.
Well, probably what I tell like a lot of my new junior sailors now that I'm in the reserves, you know, if you're coming into the reserves and you think it's a 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year gig, get out. It's not. This isn't what it is. You know, it requires a lot of heart and a lot of effort. And if you're not willing to put the time in, then all you're doing is destroying what the previous generations have built and what future generations will have.
I think always be willing to exceed the expectations of you. Exceed what people expect of your rank, exceed those things that there's a line that we all have to meet. That's the minimum line. You push yourself, learn more, feel free to spread out and learn something else. There's so many opportunities to do that in the military.
The stories growing up, you know, watching Grandpa and talking to him about the military stuff, and then after I joined, we asked more questions, but it's because it had a different sense of heritage to it than, you know, just growing up as a kid. So
I think to remember who they are, remember the legacy that that preceded them, that me, that Uncle Chris, that Grandpa, great Grandpa, have all served people, and this is an internal drive that we all have to take care of one another, to make this a more peaceful world.
Proud of them. I'm proud to see them serving in the reserves now. I love these boys.
Being in different services, I think we have a lot of fun. We poke a lot of fun at each other. There's a brotherhood there that even is completely different than being blood brothers. It creates a much stronger bond.
It was good for me to get some good structure, and you know, 17 years later, they're going to kick me out because I love it.
And I often get, somebody stops me and says, "Thank you for your service," and a lot of times you see them wearing a hat that said they served on a particular Navy ship or served during a particular combat era, and it's like, oh, well, I'm thanking you guys for the traditions and the experiences that you've set before us, that we train from and that we learn from. It just makes me proud to see that you know, some of those people are family members.